I've heard you talk.
You've heard me talk.
You will keep it short, right?
There's several pages here. Well, this is a presentation to Orland Marshall, and we had hoped that he would be able to be here, but I saw him last week and he had to return home for some medical procedures. So it's unfortunate, but it is the GALA Accomplished Award, the GALA Award, from the Birch Island Residential Property Owners Association, honoring Orland Marshall for writing the history of Birch Island and being a founding and long-time member of Birch, signed by the president. Now that's pretty much our story, but I'll throw in a few more details here. Just put that down there. Okay. I went over to see Orb last week, and he was quite alert and lively, and he said, "I just turned 90 this week." And so Orb was...
Good for him.
Yes, good for Orb. And so I told that to Art Horton yesterday, and Art says quite proudly, "Well, he's following me, I'm 94. So it was a competition for oldest man of Birch Island.
Ed here is 97.
Ed here is 97?
Yeah.
We're going to get a centenarian here, yeah. So Orb then means he was born in 1922. And how long has Orb been here? Well, when he was doing research for the Birch Island history, he went to Queens and looked up and stuff and found out that he had helped Colonel Bye put the canal. he had forgotten that. He didn't know that. But I asked him how he came to be on Birch Island, and he said his brother used to be quite an avid boater on the canal system, and eventually he bought a lot here on the island, not the Cordwood Island, but on the end of the island. He bought a lot, and he invited Orb to come down and see it. So Orb came down, and this was back in, just after the development was started, and a lot of lots were available at this end because there was a bridge at the far end, so people were buying down there, and then the bridge was closed, and so Etta suggested that Orb might want to take a look at another lot down here. He was interested, so he came down and looked up the lot that he actually purchased, and he said, "I fell in love with that as soon as I saw it." And he said, "I never even asked my wife. I just went ahead and bought it." His wife was Bette, and she died in about 1999. So then his idea was, well, he'd just go to someplace and he'd buy one of these prefab cottages and set it on the lot. Well, he said prefab cottages are built for flat places. They're not built for lots like his with a slope. So he had to design his own cottage and to fit the terrain. He was living in Binghamton in the States at the time. He's Canadian, but he had a job there, and he didn't think that he ever would be returning to Canada again. So he thought this would be a piece of Canada. As it turned out, he got another job later on in the Toronto area, which I'll get to later. But going back to World War II, he enlisted in the RCAF, and he had, I think he told me, a private radio license. So the recruiter says, "Hey, I've got a place for you. We got this new thing going. It's so secret I can't even tell you what it's called, but you'll fit in just nicely." Well, it was called Radar. It was so secret they couldn't even mention the name at the time. But what it did for him was secure him a good role in the military, but also it led to his education at McGill University, because they had a program where he could go get training at McGill. So he said he could never have gone to university without that, so he got to McGill as well. And later he moved to a job in Toronto, bought a house in Brampton, and he still lives there. And I guess he must drive himself down because he was there alone and nobody else was with him, so he's driving back and forth through Toronto. He served twice on the board of Birch, and did many hours of research in Kingston and interviewing Howard Birch and researching the history of the island, and which was published. I think it's also on the website too. And he's also quite an avid genealogist. Sylvia and I used to go to book fairs and trade fairs, promoting books, creating genealogy books, and Orb was quite often there. You can see him there. He's also written a book on his mother's family. His mother's name was Farrow, F-A-R-R-O-W. So I don't want to say too much more about Orb, but this is an observation that just came to me. I mentioned earlier with the turkey vultures. They were in the trees over Orland's place, and I really don't want to go any further with that. But we did discuss it, we had a few jokes of it. Anyway, where's the award for Orland Marshall?
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
So here you are, Orland.
Congratulations, Orr. Hey.
Oh, that's good. Thanks, Orland.